I'd like to tell you about my high school career, but it was sort of short, particularly the basketball career, but never mind. We're happy to host 6 out of 8 years. We've been in the hosting here. Says a lot for our basketball teams about consistency, but it says a lot about Texas A&M because we know how to host championships or playoff rounds in every sport. And I'm not sure there's another university that hosts more championship events than Texas A&M. We're good at it. But the most important thing is being able to compete in it instead of just hosting it. We've got a loaded field, and you're saying, well, there's not no marquee names. We're the only, correct me, Cease, if I am, we're the only one that has 3 teams in the top 25 in a pod of 4. We're number 14 in the country. Number 18 is Marquette. Number 23 is Rice. And also receiving votes is Wright State, which there's only 10 teams receiving votes. So give all those teams a little bit of credit. I looked at the rosters of both teams. All 3 teams were all veteran teams. We're the youngest team as far as experience, but we're the only team that does not have a freshman on the roster. So technically our team for a good portion of the year, we started 5 sophomores. Now we start 4 sophomores and a junior. When you're looking at Wright State, I think they have 3 senior starters, or they're through their 6-man 3. You look at Rice, they've got a transfer in Mulkey, and they've got Agumake and 2 other senior starters. And when you look at Marquette, 5 starters, 5 senior starters, and that's hard to overcome. I've been watching them all year long, hoping like heck I wasn't in the same quad with them, but that's the way it turns out. Basically, for Texas A&M to get a double bye, we've paid the price. You lose 4 starters from last year and you do not have a freshman class. I think a lot of credit should be given to this basketball team for what we've accomplished, and for this coaching staff of mine for what we've developed. That's what we're good at. We develop kids. And I'm just proud of what we've done so far. I'll open it up for questions.
To the left, Cease.
Robert Sessa, Bryan College Station Eagles. So, Gary, how do you build on that and not maybe have your players, be satisfied that you got here when a lot of people didn't think you would be hosting the tournament this year with all those starters gone?
You build off of it because it's the expectations of Texas A&M. I wasn't brought in here to win games. I was brought in here to compete for championships. And I think I've done that particularly in the last 14 years. Or else I'd be out hitting the golf ball on a beautiful day like this. We're here to compete for championships. And this is what I love. I love March Madness. I went up to Grub Bar and got my little kid's burger and was sitting there watching LSU and watching the other game was on. I was just totally into basketball right now. You build off of it because now we can use it in recruiting. We can develop the kids that are coming back. We have 2 graduates that are seniors. They're the only 2 seniors on the team. And we're going to build off of it because I think we're good. We're not great. At certain times this year, we have played great. What I want is that consistency from good to great. Okay? That's what I want. You sit there and look at it. I've got all 3 scouting reports. That's what we have to do. And my staff is so good at getting all 3 scouting reports, and we study it, and we study all 3 films, and then I worry about Texas A&M. How much do I tweak at this time of the year? I don't tweak a whole lot. I might put in 2 new inbounds plays, or I might throw one other fix on whatever zone we're going to see tomorrow, or whatever man defense or denial to Kennedy. So I have to be ready for all of that. I have to make game time decisions. But see, I mentioned this before. Postseason is about the players. About the players, not about the coaches. The coaches have 6 months to get a team of 18 to 22-year-olds ready to play in the moment. We've done that very well over the years. And that's our job. So right now, our last real big practice was yesterday, when I could use the men's practice team. I could not use them today, or if I win, I could not use them Saturday. I'd have to wait till next week if we could get out here before I could use them. But we got killed by our men's practice team yesterday. Absolutely killed. And we've got to do better. So how can you build off of it? I've got to do a better job teaching during practice.
Coach, far right on the back. I know you can't see, and then Brent, you'll be next.
Coach Mike Lucas, KAGS News. What challenges does Wright State present that makes them a tough draw in the first round?
3 1,000-point scorer, 1,000-point rebounder, very well coached. Anybody that can beat Green Bay 2 out of 3 times, and Green Bay is a perennial winner, that's what you look at. Another veteran team, veteran coach, that presents a problem. The other problem is their associate head coach played for me at Arkansas, took me to the Final Four in '98. She knows a lot of what I like to run. So I'm sure she was in charge of the scouting report. So Tennille Adams was very special to me, a former McDonald's All-American who is from East Chicago, who would love to take her team back there. But this is not a team that's first time in the tournament. I think they were in 2014, and they're in Green Bay's league. So they compete for it every year. What they do well, they make good decisions. They don't turn the ball over. They get it to their scores. They shoot it from 19 to 25 feet on the threes. It's not their stats across the board are like Marquette's or Rice's, but they find ways to win. So I want to make sure what happens. Correct me if I'm wrong, David Cease. I've only lost twice in my career in first-round games, and both of those were at A&M, and that was to UALR, and that was to TCU our first year. I didn't like that feeling, and we were the favorite in both of them.
We'll stay right side, Brent, and then Christy here on the right side.
Brent Zorneman, Eastern Chronicle. Coach, the Grubbs Kids Burgers for 12 and under, by the way. So.
No, it's not. It's for us overweight guys, and I get the old-fashioned mayonnaise, lettuce, tomato, and cheese, and I get the onion rings and the applesauce and unsweet iced tea, $5.41 with a $2 tip.
There you go.
So
it's very good.
Okay, so when you were recruiting Kennedy at Timberview High School, did you ever, even though she was a great scorer then as well, did you ever envision she would have this much success this quick for you?
No. I knew she was good. We recruited her for 5 years, and I watched her grow playing on a great summer team. And then for Mansfield Timberview, she played under one of my assistants at Arkansas, and Stephen F., who's actually going into the Texas High School Hall of Fame this year. There's no way I thought she could come in with a veteran team last year and put up the numbers that she did in the key moments. But she's a Russell Westbrook, a James Harden type on the pro side. On the men's side, you look at what she's been able to do. I think she is the most exciting guard that's playing the game right now. Probably the best one might be the girl from Oregon, Anesco. But nobody is as exciting to watch as Kennedy Carter. And hopefully I've been able, along with my assistants, have been able to add to her game. She is such a better player this year and a thinker of the game this year than she was as a freshman. She's getting her teammates involved more. She's better with her teammates off the court, and that comes from going from a freshman to a sophomore year when you're not having to deal with senior and junior starters.
Right side, Christy.
Christy Reekin from the Associated Press. Is Kennedy all the way healthy, or will she have any restrictions going into this?
Well, there's no restriction. The stitches came out Monday, and it was ugly. But last week, she was still shooting the ball with the stitches in, just shooting basically with 4 fingers and using the last one as a crutch. The first day of practice that she came back this week, she probably went for 20. And the only thing that will, the rustiness, that's the only thing. But this is a kid that lives the dream, that watches it. You don't have to worry about her. I've just got to make sure she doesn't get into foul trouble. She is ready to go. There's no excuses on our part. There will be no excuses on her part. Her job is to deliver for her team, not just in scoring, but in playmaking and defense and leadership. She has to do a lot of that, as well as a number of our other players as well.
Coach, we'll go left side, third row.
Coach Lukey, Texags, can you talk about losing to Leah Wilson early and the impact Shambria Washington's made stepping into the starting lineup?
Outstanding. We had no idea she was going to first. We were going to lose Wilson. Then when we had to move Kennedy to the 2, where she plays the 2 for USA basketball, Shambria played on an average junior college team there in Florida. But we brought her in not for insurance, but to be able to add that leadership. I'm not usually in favor of recruiting junior college point guards. I'd rather start with them as babies and grow with them for 4 years. But there was something about this kid that we just kept going back and watching her. And I'm the one always in charge of recruiting point guards. And I had to see that in her before I put my stamp of approval on her. Because that's my job, is to recruit the point guards. And this is why I think we've been so successful at Point Guard University here the last 14 years. We've got winners. And they all been pros and coaches, and they've all taken us to the playoffs. But Shambria has that toughness about her that a lot of times the JUCO kids have to have, because they've been riding vans instead of the air-conditioned buses or the charter planes that some of these other kids have done. She has that toughness about her, and particularly the last 2 weeks when we didn't have Kennedy, she has taken over practice, she's taken over in the games, and I just love to see her evolve as a leader first. She's doing a great job in leadership.
Time for a couple more. Back, Coach, left side behind the lights.
Coach John Wilson with KBTX. Will Kennedy have to wear anything on that finger for protection during the game tomorrow? And are you concerned at all how she reacts kind of back in a game situation for the first time working through that finger?
What we will try to do with her early in the ball game is don't try to win it yourself in the first 5 or 6 minutes. Because I imagine everybody game plans or schemes for Kennedy, no matter if she was hurt or not hurt. We will have to adjust as the game goes on. Will it be a triangle and 2? Will it be a box and 1? Will it be a 3-2 zone, 2-3 zone? Will it be a sagging man taking her layups away? We adjust, she adjusts. But restrictions know what she will do. The last 3 days, she's been trying something different every day. It's not a cast. It'll just be something very small on her finger. And if the first shot goes in, she'll never look at her finger the rest of the game like most athletes. If that first shot goes in. And it's my job to get her in position to score easy on her first shot.
Christy Reekin from the Associated Press. Kennedy, Coach Blair was just telling us that you got your stitches out and that your hand's feeling pretty good. How do you feel overall, and do you think it will affect you tomorrow?
I feel good. I'm just ready to get out there and play. I feel fine.
Down front, Cease.
Robert Sessa, Bryan College Station Eagle. Ciera, you joined the club this year, and 4 starters had to be replaced. A lot of people didn't think you would get here as a team. How do you build on this and not just relax the fact that you've gotten here?
Just continuing to work hard and just execute the game plan the coaches are giving us and just sticking together as a team.
Back far right. We'll get the mic to you.
Mike Lucas, KX TV. Ciera, you didn't play last year when the team made the NCAA tournament. How excited are you for your first opportunity to play in the big dance?
Well, this is my second chance because I did play at Louisville, but took a year off, so I'm fairly excited. I have a new role, a different role than I did have at Louisville, so excited to just be able to play again and just help the team to a win.
Right side, Brent.
Brent, Zorneman, Eastern Chronicle. Kayla, how important is it to have Chennedy back, and what did y'all learn in her absence that could help you moving forward?
It's very important. Chennedy is a big piece of this team. So when she was missing, we were struggling a little bit, but I felt like we handled it really well without her out. We learned how to play without her, and I felt like that helped a lot of people who didn't get a lot of chances get some chances in the tournament, so to get us ready for this.
Left side, Travis.
Kenny, kind of on the same note, with you out and what Kayla was able to do through the conference tournament, kind of does the look of this team change a little bit with you coming back in with her as another scoring threat?
I think we look the same. We've been practicing together, getting better, building chemistry. So we're just ready to get out there and play. I think my team has developed well while I was gone, and now that I'm back, we're putting everything together. So.
Right side down front, Christy.
Kennedy, if you look back to last year at this time to now, in what ways do you feel like you've grown, and do you feel a lot more prepared going into this tournament than you did last year?
Just having a year under my belt makes me a little bit more prepared. Been there, kind of played against some of the best players in the country at a young age, so that gives me a little knowledge going into this tournament. And just as far as me growing, I feel like I grew as a leader and as a person. I was able to be more vocal on the bench. I've battled a lot of things this season, and I was able to overcome them. So I feel like that was the biggest part of me. It was just getting myself together mentally and physically.
Go to back left.
John Wilson with KBTX. Kennedy, how anxious are you just to be able to get back and play a game? Obviously, you're excited for the tournament, but missing the SEC tournament, does it seem like it's going to take forever for tomorrow to get here?
It does. I'm very excited. I was in the gym literally all day yesterday. I'll be in there all day today. I'm really excited to play. For me to just sit out 2 weeks and just come back and recover as quick as I did, it's really a blessing. And I give all glory to God that I was okay and I was able to go through surgery and come back pretty quick.
Down front, Cease.
Kayla, does Wright State remind you of anything in any team you've played, and what do you think will be the key for you guys tomorrow against them?
Well, I felt like all of the opponents that we have played, like, they all prepare us for different teams. So we've played against teams that drive the ball. We've played against teams that shoot the ball. So all we have to do is just put that together because they're a really good team. They like to weave the ball. They have some good shooters. They have an inside game. So we just need to prepare well, and we'll be fine.
Right side, Brent.
Kennedy, what is the plan right now to wear on your finger? What are you going to wear on your finger? And have you found anything affects it one way or another in terms of your shooting?
Right now, I think I'm going to go with just a little wrap with a little padding underneath it. But as we get further into the tournament, I'm probably going to go without anything. It's just really up to my trainers. We'll talk to the doctor, see what's best for me, but we haven't really decided yet.
Got time, a couple more. Cease down front.
Ciera, you guys closed fast to be able to host. How important do you feel is it being a host opposed to being on the road this time of year?
A lot of it, being a host means, we can still go to school, so that's important. We don't miss that many days of class, and also just being able to having the 12th man behind us, and having somewhat of a home court, having the home court advantage is very important to our success. But we're very fortunate to close out the season well, so we're excited about that.
To the right, Brent.
Kennedy, was that more of a groan or a laugh that you still have to go to school while playing in the tournament?
That was more of a laugh. I'm excited to still go to school, though. I didn't want to miss any classes at all. I want to stay on top of everything in my grades.
Good job. Good job.
Yes,
I do.
I mean,
Yeah, it's on Friday. School's still open.
I mean,
Anything else?
it's up to coach about tomorrow.
Any other questions? All right.